Okay, so this is going to be the third video about shares. I'm thinking that this one is probably going to be more important. I'm going to try and lay it out better than the other two. First, I wanted to expand a little bit upon, I told you about how longer pays better is superior. I found the exact mathematics involved with that. So longer pays better gives up to a 200% bonus. Bigger pays better gives up to a 10% bonus. So bigger pays better is just tiny compared to what you can do with longer pays better. Longer pays better bonuses are going to blow away bigger pays better bonuses. That's just how it is. So I mean, bigger is, better because you're going to create more money. Your APR is going to also be much higher because you're going to be basing that percentage upon a greater initial pool size. So it's good to be bigger, but longer is just going to trump it. It really is. Okay, so probably the most important thing, I touched on it a little bit in the first one when I showed you the pie chart, but I'm going to really dig deeper into that pie chart now. The most important thing about staking is the number of total shares in existence. The size of the pie, the actual size of the pie, is always going down. Now this won't start until after the big payday because all the bonuses and stuff are going to skew how shares operate. Like right now, shares are being built up. I believe shares are going to keep building until the big payday, and then all of a sudden, shares are going to fall forever. They're always going to go down. So the size of the pie is always going to be shrinking. So now let me explain why long stakes are so important. So when you start your stake, let's say right now you start your 97 million share stake. I think it's 97 million shares per hex. You start that and you lock that share rate in. Let's say you do a 10-year stake. That share rate is locked in for 10 years. So every day that goes by in year 7 and year 8 and year 9, you're still running on that 97 shares per hex rate. You're still running at that rate while everyone else is destroying their shares when their stake ends. So what's happening is whenever you start a stake, you create all these shares are given to you, or they're probably created. I would assume. I think they're created out of thin air. I think. Don't quote me on that. But whenever you finish your stake, all of those shares are destroyed. And the total size of the share pool shrinks. So what that means is even if your little slice of the pie stays the same, the entire number of shares is shrinking around you. So the pool is shrinking around you while your pie piece stays the same size. So what that means is your percentage ownership of the entire share pool is constantly going up over time. And it's going up a lot in the later years, past year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's really going up a lot, and you are becoming the share pool whale. Because nobody else around you is able to get anything close to the share rate that you can get. So when you finish stake, your shares are destroyed. And when you stake again, you're going to create a new set of shares at a much higher share price. So, a couple of factors play in there. Number one, so much time will have passed between when you set your stake that the share price will be radically advanced. That, coupled with whenever you end your stake, all of your bonuses and all of your earnings and everything are going to be factored into calculating a new global share price, such that that's being done so that the global share rate will always go down. So let's say you have a stake and you just make an absolute massive amount of coins, right? You single-handedly can ruin the share rate for everyone because the system does not want you to be able to increase the number of shares in the system. The system will penalize every single person just because you had such an amazing stake. Everyone will be penalized and the share rate will skyrocket just because you had a good stake, because the system does not want you to start a stake, go 10 years, 80x your stack, and if you 80x your stack and you start a new stake, it could be possible that if all your bonuses and everything were not factored, that the share rate hasn't gone up enough over the last 10 years to compensate for the amount of coins that you have going up. So you have so many coins now that if the system did not take into consideration your bonuses, it would be possible for you to restake, and you have so many coins that you actually increase the total number of shares in the system again. The system will not allow that. The system will not allow the global number of shares to increase anymore. So instead of allowing the global number of shares to increase anymore, it penalizes everyone, and everyone gets wrecked on a new share price that is set by you so that you cannot increase the total number of shares in the system. I hope that makes sense, and I think that's how it works. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I believe that's exactly how it works, and it's pretty intense. It really is. Yeah. So I've said everything. Yeah. So the big thing to take home is you've got that pool, that pie size, that pie chart. You know, when you start your stake, you've got a pie that's that big, and you've got a little bitty slice. But over time, what's going to happen is that pool is going to shrink, and that little bitty slice isn't so little anymore. It takes up a lot more area of the circle now. And this circle itself is still 3.69% inflation of the total, which I'll just give a random, we'll just say 1 trillion coins. So that 1 trillion coins is going to inflate 3.69% every year. If you have a bigger section of the share pool, that means more of that 3.69% of 1 trillion goes to you. The bigger your piece of the share pool, the more of a fraction of that total global inflation per year will go to you. I hope that makes sense. I think I understand it okay. If I don't, let me know. If this doesn't make sense, let me know. And if it's not explained well,